Thanks, Martin. With that kind of excitement, gosh, 5 more like this, it's going to be great. Next up is going to be Piku. We need to get Todd Brockman up here, and we'll see another exciting presentation.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm going to talk about, I don't know if I can be as exciting as that presentation, but I'll try. We're going to move on to the world of patents, copyrights, trademarks, and trade secrets, exciting stuff. So Piku's concept, Piku stands for peak in Japanese, for people who don't know what that means. So we're your global head of IP, and we believe that we're focusing on founders and startups, and our mission is to provide support to build an IP ecosystem for those challenging aspects of their business. Here's our mission. We're a team of IP experts. I've been in this space about 18 years, so everything I'm going to talk about today, I've been on this personal journey, and everything I learned, I just incorporated into this presentation, and so we're actually doing this, but we're just taking it to the next level. So essentially, we help founders develop their IP, which is trademarks, copyrights, patents, and trade secrets, and we help them protect those things. It's not something that startups and founders focus on early on in their ventures, because they're focused on sales and marketing and doing these types of things. But we try to get them to pay attention to this. Just to give you an idea of the rate of technological disruption, took JP Morgan 200 years to become a $75 billion market cap company, to PayPal 20 and Coinbase 10. So you can see the rate of growth, how fast technology has the power to disrupt business models. The one I'd love to talk about is Netflix and Blockbuster. So Blockbuster essentially had the opportunity to buy Netflix in the early 2000s, which they passed on. And if you look at today, Blockbuster is bankrupt, and they filed bankruptcy in 2010. But they could have bought Netflix for $50 million early on, and they passed on it. The reason I bring this up is if they had the foresight, Blockbuster, to develop IP, they could have patented and done all kinds of things around the IP that Netflix was creating. At that time, streaming movies was not seen as viable at that time. Netflix saw that and saw that video streaming was going to get better and better and better. So if Blockbuster had done that, we probably would have known that name today. Now we really don't. These are the areas we focus on: fintech, Web3, edtech, climate tech. All the areas that we see have heavy disruption. We do a lot of work in gaming, in getting in gaming patents. We're working on a big project now with that. So what's the ecosystem look like? You have startups and founders, you have litigation finance, educational, valuation specialists, government, you have to file them with various government agencies, technology, IP owners, and you have patent attorneys. So these are the people that live within this system, and as a startup or a founder, you have to deal with all these different people, and it's complicated. We went through it. I found good people, I found bad people. Now we know all the good people, and that's kind of the ecosystem we developed, is a network of really, really talented people in these specific areas, which any startup or founder is going to need. So what problem are we really solving? That's the focus of this. So we're tokenizing this process. So intellectual property is too expensive for founders and startups to fund in early stages. It's just not possible. In 2004, I invested in a startup, and we put $500,000 into IP, and that was unheard of. That'd be like $4 or $5 million today. But that IP is worth over $100 million today. So making those early investments can really pay off. Most founders and startups lack the expertise and knowledge to preserve or monetize IP. They just don't know what to do. No one tells them what they should or should not do. And then we've got some great attorneys, but there's attorneys that will write patent applications, but they're not helping you understand how to monetize. Like I talked about before, finding best of world IP resources is extremely time consuming and risky. Piku is the answer. So we've taken that work out for you. We can make it affordable at an early stage. We've got the expert knowledge, and we found the best of class resources. That's the abbreviation ecosystem. Here's the team, right here. I don't want to bore you with that. And then our partners and resources, so Experiential, that's my private equity firm. We do a lot of research with PitchBook, RPX Insights to track litigation Finance Journal, RedTech's helping us with NFTs on one of our projects. And Founders Factory, I'm on the board of Founders Factory, so we write founders checks anywhere from $200,000 to $1 million. We're doing that all day long. And EasyJet's one of our partners on that, one of our investors in our fund, and so is L'Oreal. So we are able to write checks with that size if anyone has any cool ideas. And then that's a big source for us, because once we write them a check, we do due diligence and say, well, show me your IP. What are you doing? And then most people haven't even filed for patents or done anything at that stage. That's it. I hope I was thorough. I hope guys do 5 minutes.
So As a moderator, you saw my good side. This is my bad side. I don't get it. You're tokenizing IP, and then magic. Magic happens.
Okay.
I don't understand as a startup founder, how will I have any value from engaging with Piku?
So as a startup and founder, and we can talk about this after if you like, it's a pretty long conversation, but we basically acquire about 20% or 30% of your IP, and then you still retain ownership of 70%, so you can monetize that aspect of it, but you're not going to monetize it for probably 3 to 5 years. It's going to take time, so. I think this is probably a longer conversation.
No, I understand, okay, and it's still magic. So you assemble a team that can file a patent.
We have all those teams down. We're already doing it.
No, okay.
We already did this.
All right.
I can go over with you. We've already.
And why tokens?
Tokens a way for other people to participate, because this is we don't want this to be a security. We don't share the profits. Piku itself does not share profits. So the only way for you to make money is off the token, really. And if you the IP holder can make money off their 70%.
Okay. Next question. Since this is a investor pitch session, I didn't hear what the investment opportunity is.
Well, we're fully funded at this point. So I mean,
okay. So you
we're
just shared it with us. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's we're waiting on the last part of it. So until that's done, I mean, I'm funding this myself. So until the last part's done, I still want to do these presentations.
Okay.
So, quick question. So, one of the big problematic that there is right now in NFTs is IP rights when it relates. So, for example, if I own a Bored Ape, I own 100% of the IP. I can, start a clothing line with it. I can start a restaurant, and I basically have full ownership of my ape. If I own a CryptoPunk, this is a little bit more blurry what I actually own. I own some part of it, but I cannot, do a clothing line with my CryptoPunk. So is there a tool in there that helps understand the NFT rights of the owners? And I feel that this is a Web3 problematic that is going to happen more and more as we go forward. So is that solution brings clarity to that situation?
That's exactly right. And that's why, I'm not a lawyer. So that's why we have a team of lawyers that do all of that work within our ecosystem. So a very good question, but that's a legal question. So in our ecosystem, we let the lawyers evaluate. Each case is different, and so we let them evaluate that based on what the NFT is doing, and we make a decision. So you're part of the whole process with us doing that. So like we have NFTs we're releasing right now for a better entertainment television platform. We vetted what we own and what we don't own. We created the original content. No one else touched it but us. We didn't license anything from third parties. It's ours. So we believe it's ours. But if we did use any third-party content, we might have an issue on our hands. So we had to go through a legal deep dive. We had to have the lawyers look at it. We thought we created it. Who else owns it? We paid for it. We didn't take anything from third parties, so we believe it's ours. But someone could challenge us on certain aspects of it. It might look like something that someone else did, that one of our creators copied but didn't tell us. Happens all the time. So it's a legal question, which has to be about each case is unique. There's not a one stock answer for that.
Thank you.